We kind of did it last week, but this new segment we're going to be doing every Tuesday, so we're excited about that. Dan got new carpet in his place, so he's actually on air with us. Dan, isn't it amazing whenever you get new flooring or carpet, it's just like it makes you realize how bad the previous stuff was.
Yeah, and also I know people are wondering. So yes, the carpet does match the drapes here in the Newford household. But Andy, yeah, we're pumped, man. Excited. Home ownership has been a serious journey. We'll talk about it maybe this summer when we have a little bit less to get into. But today, we have a loaded show, man. Super pumped. We got two great guests. We have the triumphant return of our friend Brian Power here to the program. So I'm going to talk a little MLB action with him. As Andy mentioned, if you guys are into home run props, it's not a plus EV wager, but a fun one. It certainly is. Andy and I have a new segment each and every Tuesday that we'll be bringing to you. Ross Benjamin is coming on to start everything off, though. And we're talking Cavs, Pistons, Lakers, and Thunder. One of them expects to be a competitive game. The other expects to be a blowout. And we will see if Ross agrees or disagrees with the odds makers in those two. But Andy, let's get going. Lost the first one of the week, but it means we get right back onto the horse. A minute into the show, folks. What do? We give you your wager talk today, play of the day. And Andy, what do we got here today?
Going to MLB, we're going to take Taj Bradley over 17.5 outs. There's a lot of reasons to like this. He's gone over in 5 out of 7 games this season. One of the unders was the very first game of the season, so just kind of easing into the season. The other was at Toronto when he went 15 outs, but he got to 106 pitches, so a huge pitch count through only 15 outs. He throws a lot of pitches. He's averaging 101 this season per start. The last 3 starts, 18, 19, and 21 outs. Nationals bats, been cold, 4 runs, total 3 games against Milwaukee. They're batting 228 at home. They're better on the road, which you don't see very often, but that is the case here. And the Twins bullpen is depleted. I thought Adam Trigger and Brian Leonard did a great job talking about that. So this Twins team doesn't have a lot of bullpen arms, and this Taj Bradley, man, he's a hoss. He can go deep into games. So as long as he doesn't get lit up early, I think we're going over 17.5 outs. So that is going to be the play of the day. And I got to bring up yesterday's play, Dan. We learned something about that. We had Jordan Clarkson.
We like to learn.
Yeah. So we Jordan Clarkson, we had over 5.5 points. Your 76ers really pulled their starters early. So it was like kind of a lot of garbage time late. He didn't come in. Even though he comes off the bench, he was not part of the Knicks like garbage time line. He only played 14 minutes. So that was kind of it almost made me a little bit more worried about it, because it's almost like they're treating him like a starter in terms of his role and his minutes. And it was like when it's garbage time, even though he comes off the bench, he's not getting that time. So that was a red flag for that play moving forward. I'll have to tread very, very lightly in that one. So,
yeah, but that's good,
right.
Andy. Obviously game 1 of a series, that's where you kind of start being able to hone in. And partially why you've done so well in NBA props is because you pick a player, you pick lines that just aren't making sense, and you just ride them throughout the postseason. So, using game 1 as a learning spot and, selling with a loss, so to speak, I'm fine with that. I'm confident that because of what we learned, we'll be able to dissect it a little bit better here moving forward.
I actually thought last night was a decent case scenario for you guys. Your guys' starters did not look that good, and they didn't play very many. I mean, they're all around 26 minutes. So I thought they did the right thing bailing on that game early. We've seen big time turnarounds from game 1 to game 2. But did you watch any of that? Yes.
There was just real quick before we tie a bow on that one, and we get some NBA thoughts from Ross Benjamin as well. But for me, it's not something that I bet, but hindsight 2020, there was just no possible way that matching the energy with the short turnaround time that the Sixers had. Game 7 in Boston, never before won a game 7 was Joel Embiid. He bangs up his knee twice in that game. There was just no way that game with the quick turnaround now to a Monday game Adam Silver continuing to hate the Sixers with the scheduling that they decide to give to them. There was just no possible way they were going to match that energy level. So hindsight 2020, but yeah, I don't take much of, oh, this is going to be a blowout series simply from game one. And if last series with the Celtics tells you everything, game one, game two, maybe game three, that doesn't mean too much. So,
and yet we learn again, if you like an underdog in the NBA playoffs, why bother with the points? Just take the big money line.
Pick the winner.
Anthony Edwards somehow plays, looks pretty good. But it was just the emotional lift that team needed, and they just completely blindsided the Spurs. They caught the Spurs on a bad shooting night from three, pull the upset, and yeah, points do not seem to matter with these underdogs. So quite the night here. But we got to play it, Dan. Let's get pumped. It's $5 Tuesday, man.
Are you not entertained?
They love it when I turn off the bass.
Are you not entertained?
Handicapper. It don't matter, Andy. $5 Tuesday is here. WagerTalk.com. So Andy, WT.buzz/AL. We'll talk about what he has up. Brian Power, WT.buzz/BP. We'll talk about what he has up. But right now, bringing him in after what is one of my favorite drops of the week, the boss is in the house. Ross, the boss Benjamin, WT.buzz/RB is where you can find my man, Ross Benjamin. Ross, how we doing, brother?
I'm doing great, guys. How about yourselves?
No complaints, man. No complaints at all. Like Andy said, kind of a learning day on Monday, but now we get right back into it here. And another two good matchups here to kick off round two in the NBA playoffs. Obviously, we'll get some thoughts on the new matchup for your Sabres as they were moving on. But we'll just kick it off right here, Ross, with the Cavs and the Pistons, because out of the two, as far as the odds makers are concerned, this is the quote-unquote coin flip. Yeah, okay, Detroit's 3.5-point favorites, but from what we've seen in this playoffs, that's a modest at best. It's a little bit over a basket here. We're seeing 216 around that number. So, Ross, Cavs, Pistons. Pistons needed some things to break their way to even be here, and now they're laying points against a hungry Cavs team. What are you thinking, Ross?
Yeah, I mean, you got a number one seed in a conference semifinal is just a 3.5-point favorite at home in game one of a series. Right there alone tells you what the odds makers are thinking. They expect a very close game. Detroit coming off a series in which they trailed 3-1 against Orlando and rallied to win 3 in a row and take that series in 7 games. And not to rub salt in the wound, Dan, but short memory, Philadelphia down 3-1 against Boston, 3 in a row to win that series. And then they go out against the Knicks in game one in the following series last night and get crushed 137-98. You know, here's the thing with the Pistons, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be surprised to hear this, but the Pistons have gone 0-9 straight up in ATS in their last 9 this year, as a favorite of 7 or less and coming off a 3-game winning streak. So, when they're a favorite coming off a 3-game win streak, it's been a long time since they've been successful in the following game. 0-9 straight up in ATS speaks volumes in that regard. Guys, since the 2003 NBA playoffs, only 5 times has teams met each other in game one of a series and both coming off game 7 wins, like the Cavs and Pistons. And the home teams in those 5 games, they went 0-5 against the spread and lost 4-5 straight up. Additionally, game one home favorites of 5.5 or less, like the Pistons are, coming off a game 7 win by 5 points or greater, like the Pistons are, 0-8 straight up in ATS since the 2008 playoffs. I'm going with the Cavs here, plus the 3.5 over the Pistons in game one.
Yeah, and I mean we got to sprinkle the money line too on these underdogs are just winning outright. So great breakdown there. That's some incredible stats about the Pistons. I had no idea. So we have another game here. Lakers Thunder. On paper, I think everyone would assume this is just going to be a complete blowout, but line told us last night it should have been a blowout with the Timberwolves and the Spurs. That just didn't happen. So do the Lakers have a puncher's chance? Can they catch Oklahoma City off guard here? Oklahoma City minus 15.5 with an over-under 214. You liking the side? You liking the total?
Yeah, screw the side, Andy. I like the total, which is 213.5. The Lakers are coming off a 98-78 win at Houston to wrap up that series in 6 games. Here's the thing. In that series against Houston, the Lakers allowed 99 points or fewer in 5 of those 6 games. So despite being without Luka, they played extremely good defense, and that was a key in them winning that series. The Lakers also number 27 in the NBA in pace, so it's not exactly like they like to get up and down. They like to slow the tempo of games down, play good defense, and especially being shorthanded. That's worked for them. And they've gone 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. The Lakers averaged just 97.6 points per game in their 3 contests against Oklahoma City this year. Oklahoma City, extremely good defensively. We'll get to that in a second. Oklahoma City off that 4-0 sweep over Phoenix. They allowed just a little over 105 points per game in that series. And Oklahoma City, number 1 in the NBA in defensive efficiency, scoring defense, and field goal percentage defense. So talk about a very good defensive team and a Lakers team coming off a low-scoring 6-game series against Houston. And anytime you have an NBA playoff away team coming off an away win of 20 points or more, like the Lakers did winning that game 98-78 at Houston, and they're playing with 3 or more days rest, which the Lakers are going into tonight, and the total 225.5 or 225 or less, 12-0 to the under since 2006. Again, NBA playoff away teams coming off an away win by 20 points or more, playing with 3 or more days rest, and the total in that contest is 225 or less, 12-0 to the under since 2006. And Andy, those games went under the total by an average of 14.2 points per game, and there was only a combined average of 191.5 points per game scored per contest. And that dates back to 2006. Numbers don't lie and liars don't figure. I'm going with the Lakers in Oklahoma City under 213.5.
I mean, yeah, the Lakers are going to learn real quick. This ain't the Rockets tonight. This is going to be.
It's not the Rockets, but probably a better defensive team they're facing as well. And so especially in game 1 of a series, a well-rested team, and the Lakers know they can't get into a track meet with Oklahoma City if they have any kind of chance. And so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, since we have you on, got to ask you, I'm looking here at the series price for your Sabres and the Canadians. It is just a straight pick 'em here, minus 110, both sides. What are your thoughts on the Sabres and Canadians?
Well, it's about as even a series as you can imagine. I mean, the Sabres finished with 109 points, Montreal 106. They played each other 4 times. They split the series 2 apiece. In the regular season, the goals for and goals against for both teams in those 4 games, 13-13. So it's about as even as they come. Could be a series. Look, I don't know if Dobish is going to be able to continue to play the way he is. I don't know if Alex Lyon is going to continue. I mean, Alex Lyon, the last 4 games of that series against Boston, Andy, gave up 5 goals in 4 games and a .955 save percentage, and Dobish has been good for over the last 2 months. I want to say the Sabres, but being objective, I'm going to say it's a very close call, and I would be reluctant to make a serious bet here, even though I probably will, just because I'm betting with my heart on this one, not my mind, folks. So don't follow that lead. And also, I would see how this series plays out for the first couple games and go back game by game. I think that's the more effective way to approach this. And in terms of props, Andy, I would focus in on Rasmus Dahlin for the Sabres in this series. Boston, it's pretty much clogged up the neutral zone, which eliminated a lot of Buffalo's rush opportunities, which they excel at. Montreal could skate with Buffalo, and this is going to be a more wide open series than we've seen in both of these teams' first round matchups. And I think Dahlin will shine in this environment. And 1 goal and 2 assists, I believe, in the last 2 games against Boston. So, it is his first playoff series ever. So I like Rasmus Dahlin. I know you're going to probably have to pay premium prices, Andy, but if you can catch a shots on goal and assist over 1 assist or over a half assist or something along those lines at a good price, I would jump all over it.
Well, you were spot on. The Bowen Byron, we put that play in, and he went over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, he went over in every game except one. So we were
that particular game we talked about. He went over his shots on goal total by early second period. So
it was great.
And again, it didn't seem to bother him with Boston's clutching and grabbing style. It seemed to affect Dahlin more. And of course, a lot of their focus was on taking Dahlin away. Montreal just doesn't play that style. They like to open it up like Buffalo does. And this is going to be an extremely entertaining series, in my opinion.
Love it.
I don't see this series going. Nobody's going to win this series in 4 or 5 games. Let's put it that way.
Well, I'm looking here at Dahlin props -130 to get over 2.5 shots. But boy, you were so right. He has an assist in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 7 out of the last 9 games against Montreal. 7 out of the last 9 games, he's got just the assist, and you can get that -130.
And the style of play is conducive to what he does. So, and as far as shots on goal goes, he's a main guy. He's the quarterback of their power play, which hasn't been very good, but started to come on at the end of the Boston series. So, he's good for at least 1 shot on goal on the power play alone, I would say, throughout the course of the game. So
great breakdown. It's your team, them, but we didn't ask you to prep for that one. So that's really, really good information off the cusp, Ross. You're one of the reasons why you're the best. So what do you have up for everyone? It's $5 Tuesday.
Yeah, $5 Tuesday. I got the winning total in one of the NBA games tonight. Actually, it's the early game, and that's the winning total between the Cavs and the Pistons. And it's a 4% top play. And I've done awfully well with 4 and 5% top plays, over 86 units in net profit over the last year. Major League Baseball coming off a 2-1 night since May 13th of last year. Major League Baseball plus 46.20 units. And Andy, over the last 365 days in all sports, plus 154.90 units. And that's number 1 at WagerTalk in that regard. And there's some awfully good cappers at WagerTalk.com. And I'm pretty proud of that because I respect all of the cappers over at WagerTalk.com. So.
Yeah, and Ross, you can get more breakdowns from you right here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Obviously, Andy does his breakdown for your same game parlay. Brian, he does morning wager and some other breakdowns here. So, guys, huge way to find all of that. Super easy. Hit that like button. That's a way to say thank you for us. But if you hit subscribe, that's when you're going to know anything that goes live here on the channel, folks. So anything you want, you need to hear, hit that like button and subscribe.
Sorry, Dan.
No,
my recorded solo videos, you can get them at my direct page at WagerTalk TV, which is wt.buzz/Ross TV. wt.buzz/Ross TV. You'll see all the archived videos, and rather than searching through the WagerTalk page, if you're looking specifically for me, I should say the WagerTalk YouTube page, you can go right to that link. It'll take you right to my videos.
Boom. We love it, Ross. Best of luck, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. You guys take care. Have a great week.
Go Sabres for Ross's sake. For Ross's sake, of course.
For Ross's sake. We got a good question. Hutch, Qatar, any opinions on the goalies tonight for saves, under or over? I mean, the last game was 9-6. It's like And what happens when you have a game like that, they go over their saves because even though they're letting up a lot of goals,
They're just seeing so many.
They're seeing so many of them. So I would look at Wedgwood over 24.5. They got the other guy at 28.5. I mean, Minnesota had 36 shots on goal. The Avalanche had over 40, but 24.5 seems pretty low. 28.5, it's a bit high. I don't like playing the goalie props once they're creeping up to that 30 number. But yeah, you get Minnesota, you get guys like Boldy and who's a couple of those other guys. They can one of them had 7 shots on goal last game. So if anything, I would take Wedgwood on the over 24.5. So
yeah, great question. And that's what we love, whether you're in the chat or afterwards. If you comment below, Andy and I chop it up with you up until next day's show. So you can keep dropping comments, questions like that. Andy, before we debut, what I am very excited about each and every Tuesday. Each and every Tuesday, I'm equally excited because it's $5 Tuesday. Ross mentioned what he has up, that 4%er that he's rocking with. We're loaded, I think, with a couple different plays for $5 Tuesday, right?
Yeah, we have 3 of them up, actually. All in sports that we're seeing really, really well. So we want to feature what we're running good in. So NBA playoffs continue to chug away. Even we lost on Clarkson last night, but the run in all the playoffs for NHL and for NBA is good. We're combined 30 units. I believe we're hitting 64% of NBA play. So that's an incredible run in NBA playoffs. So that is a 4% play. That's only $5. We have an MLB play that is up. We're seeing MLB 10-5 on a nice run in MLB. Hit a nice plus money play yesterday. The play today is minus 105. So it's a really, really good price on the team that we love. And then we have a $5 cricket play that's up. Okay. It's a little bit juicy and it's not for today. It's in a couple of days. But if you want to lock it in, this is one of those.
We like it a lot.
I've bet this a little bit more than normal. I don't know if it's the Ashes level. I just know that I have put a little bit
like this
extra on this one. So, but you have to be juice tolerant. It's not going to be a minus 110 play, and it's going to be in a couple days. But I'll leave it up till midnight tonight. It's only $5, so if you want to jump on board, but just make sure you understand the stipulation. There's juice involved, not as much as the Ashes, but it's in a couple days as well. So if you're looking for plays tonight, NBA is up, MLB is up, and we got cricket for you in a couple days. So
I love it, Andy. I absolutely love it. And now that folks know where they can get the true best bets, let's give them some. These aren't quite leans, but I can tell you, you're limited if you want to take advantage of the bonus that is on one of these books, which is why we started it. You can bet $10 on this. So take it for what it is, Andy. Let's do it. Dinger Tuesday. Looked like he was swinging at air, but we'll take it. It looked like he was swinging at air, but we have to start somewhere with the graphics, you know?
Yeah, I'll keep working on that one. But yeah, so somebody asked last week about who's going to hit a home run, and then I didn't know that there's a book that does a promotion literally called Dinger Tuesday. So every Tuesday, let's have a little bit of fun and see if we can predict somebody to have a home run. I'll let you go first, and I mean yours makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, okay. Well, first things first, I'm wearing the Phillies lid today because I'm going down to Citizens Bank Park, going to the game here tonight. So one of my favorite things if I'm going to a game, I like betting somebody to score a home run. Gives you action on every time they're up at bat. And what I'm going with for Dinger Tuesday, let's take Bryce Harper to hit a home run this evening. Yes, it's Homer. We're looking at plus 260 around that number. With the boost, it's going to be around 540 because you get a 50% boost for Dinger Tuesday. Here's where it starts, Andy. Wind is going to be blowing out over 17 miles per hour and gusts even bigger than that. 83 degrees in South Philadelphia. Nice warm night with the wind blowing out. And then we look who is on the mound for the A's. Severino pitching pretty well as of late, back-to-back wins, but still, if you look at what he's done on the year, 4.5 ERA in his 7 starts, he's allowed 4 homers. So it's not a huge number there that's eye-popping that he's getting shelled. However, Bryce Harper in his career versus Severino, he's 2-5, Andy. 2-5 at the plate. The 2 hits, 2 home runs, 2 separate home runs. Let's make it 3 here tonight for Bryce against Severino. Harper, my Dinger Tuesday bet to get a home run this evening.
Are you sitting where you potentially could catch a home run?
I am. So we're going to be in the left field. I mean, it would be a hell of a shot, man. It would have to be a hell of a shot. Like so I was joking with Andy beforehand. I was like, tune into Sports Center because Bryce Harper is going to hit this home run. It's coming directly to my section. I'm going to left-handed, bare-hand it, and then I'll be on Sports Center tonight. So, yes, Schwarbaum was a good choice. I leaned towards him as well, but Harper and his matchup against Severino, the fact that he's hit 2 off of him in his career, that's why I landed on Harper. So, yes, tune in tonight on the recap show. You'll see me catching a ball in left field.
Okay, well, I wanted to pick one in the same game because I want to double your chance to catch a home run. I got to pick someone on the other team, so I'm going with Nick Kurtz, plus 469. He has the second most home runs on the team. He bats second. Sanchez has been pretty decent this year. He's only given up 3 home runs, but that weather, man, this is the kind of wind where a pop fly can actually turn into a home run. So I'm hoping that you get 2 chances in this one. So I'll go with Nick Kurtz of the Athletics to try and hit one.
Yeah, and what I'll say, just as a little encapsulation to the game, since Andy and I both put home runs in the same game, that 9, okay, I get it, but I kind of like the over. But I know Sanchez solid, but also the bullpen of the Phillies is still the bullpen of the Philadelphia Phillies. So I like it. I got you, Seth. I got you. Tune in. Right-handed or left-handed, bare hand grab. It's coming your way. Sports Center, top 10.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's bring in Brian Power.
Brian Power, what do you think the likelihood of me being on Sports Center top 10 is? What do you think the likelihood is?
Whether you catch the home run or not, I don't know. It's pretty good. Just do something dumb. You can get on there. I'm not going to bet on that because you can just do whatever you. I could say, "Oh, you're not getting on there," and you can just do something wacky.
Yeah, you're right. I am known to do some things wacky from time to time, Bri. But you are known from picking damn good winners, my good friend. I mean, your Twitter handle couldn't be Brian Power _wins if from now and then you didn't win. So we're happy to have you back here on the show, Bri. Good to see you. We'll talk about the morning wager here in just a few. Right now, let's talk Rangers and Yankees. This actually, I think, is an interesting handicap for you here, Bri, simply because these teams played essentially a week ago. Yankees get the series win in that one. So Yankees, I mean, it's again, this total's sitting at 9. You feel like the Yankees could hit that by themselves on any given evening if they're raking. Is tonight one of those evenings, or are you looking towards a dog? How are we looking to bet this one?
Well, look, the Yankees, in my view, and the view of probably a lot of people, sounds like yours, Dan, as well. They've clearly been the best team in the American League this season. We understand it. They've got a plus 76 run differential. No other AL team is north of plus 17 in run differential. So quite the gap in that metric. The Pinstripes just finished off a 4-game sweep with the Orioles yesterday. They win by a score of 12-1. All 4 of their wins in that series over Baltimore were by 5 or more runs. So complete domination in that last series. But we got to note, Dan and Andy, Yankees are at a rest disadvantage tonight. The Rangers had Monday off. I've mentioned this numerous times on the morning wager, which you can catch, of course, every Monday through Friday on either the WagerTalk or Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. Teams playing with the rest edge have performed very well over the last 2 weeks. That's teams that had the previous day off against an opponent that did not. We'll see if it continues moving forward. I also think it would be pretty difficult to argue that the Yankees aren't at a disadvantage when looking at tonight's starting pitching matchup, Dan. It's going to be Elmer Rodriguez making just his second career start. The first, as luck would have it, came last week against these same Rangers. And Rodriguez allowed 2 runs in 4 innings. That's not horrible, but he did have more walks than strikeouts, which is obviously never a good thing. And meanwhile, Texas, they're going with Jacob deGrom. We're talking about a guy here, needs no introduction, 2.01 ERA, averaging 11.5 Ks per 9 innings this season, a .96 whip, 2.92 FIP, just very good numbers all around for deGrom. He's allowed 0 or 1 run in each of his last 5 starts, including 6 strong innings of 3-hit ball last time out against these same Yankees. Now, the one concern you have to have with Texas is they are dead last in the American League in terms of runs scored. 3 runs or fewer in 7 of the last 14 games overall. They were 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position in the loss to Detroit Sunday night. But I will say, for the season, and this is important, this is a road game, obviously, the Rangers scoring does increase pretty substantially when they are away from home. They average just 2.67 runs per game in Arlington, 4.58 on the road. So that's nearly double. And let's go back to that starting pitching matchup. I think the Rangers could score a couple runs off Rodriguez again, while DeGrom should do his thing. I know the Rangers have the lowest bullpen ERA in all of baseball, 2.75. So, it kind of, I don't love leaving that out of the equation, but pretty clearly the Rangers' biggest edge in this game is with the starting pitching matchup. So let's go Texas first 5 money line, around -105. If the game's tied after 5, so be it. We'll live with the push. But I think there's a good chance, because of this starting pitching matchup, Dan and Andy, that the Rangers are ahead after 5 innings. The key for them will be obviously getting to Rodriguez.
I love it. I'm so shocked that you're coming on here with somewhat of a contrarian take. It is the Brian Power way. So, yeah, yes. I love it that you lead off that. I'm like, the Yankees are pretty damn good, but they ain't going to be leading after the first 5. That's the encapsulation of the breakdown from my man, Brian Power. We joked about Dinger Tuesday, man. Well, it was Dinger Monday yesterday for the Dodgers. Yes. They headed into Monday. I believe it was their longest stretch since like 2014 that they had not homered. Then they end up getting homers from Alex Freeland, Kyle Tucker. So the offense that had kind of gone cold on the 11 runs in the previous 5 for the Dodgers found its way against the Astros. 8-3 win last night. More of the same here. Shohei on the mound. Total sitting at 8.5. How are you looking to bet this one, Brian?
Yeah, no reason to expect Dodger Blue can't hang another crooked number tonight, Dan. This Astros pitching staff is just absolutely atrocious. Most runs allowed in all of baseball, highest bullpen ERA in all of baseball. They went with a bullpen game last night, so it didn't look good going in, and it didn't work out too well, obviously, on Monday for the Stros. Tonight, Peter Lambert getting the nod. He worked a season low 4 1/3 innings last time out, gave up only 2 runs, but second straight start, he walked 3 batters. Astros, by the way, ended up losing that game to Baltimore by a final score of 10-4. So they gave up plenty of runs, even with Lambert just allowing the 2. Again, terrible bullpen. Going back to his time with Colorado, Lambert has not fared well historically against the Dodgers. 10.13 ERA in 7 career appearances against them. Now, you touched on it, Dan. Ohtani's going for the Dodgers. It's going to be a 6th start of the season. He's gone at least 6 innings each of the first 5. 3 of those, he did not allow a single run, but not great career numbers versus Houston for Ohtani. Remember, he used to pitch for the Angels. 3-6, 3.89 ERA. Granted, a lot of turnover, so I don't know how much those numbers mean, honestly. But I actually do think, guys, Houston can score some runs here over the course of 9 innings. Among American League teams, they've scored the 2nd most runs this season, trailing only the Yankees, who we already touched on. Top 5 in all of baseball in runs scored is Houston. In fact, they've scored only 2 fewer runs this season than the Dodgers, considering what I expect from the Dodgers offensively in this game. And remember, they're guaranteed to come up to bat all 9 innings. I don't think it takes much help from the Astros, Dan and Andy, to get this game up and over the total of 8.5. Of course, 9, a key number when it comes to betting MLB totals. So over 8.5 would be my look in this one.
Over, according to our friend BP Brian Power. Brian, it is $5 Tuesday, as you got amped to our drop to start the show, I am sure. What do you have offered for folks? WT.buzz/BP is where they can find your page. What are they going to see over there?
Well, let's talk about MLB totals. I'm number 1 with MLB totals this season. Okay. Cashed another one last night with the under in the Padres and Giants. I know it did not get off to a great start. It was 2-1 after the first inning. Started sweating a little bit, but there were only 2 runs scored the rest of the game. With that win, guys, I'm now 16-2-1. My last 19 MLB over-under releases. That includes 12-1-1 the last 14 and a perfect 6-0 my last 6. On top of all that, last night's winner means we're 30-10-1 all sports since April 17th. So seeing the board very well, not just with Major League Baseball. And by the way, I don't want to confuse anyone. Tonight's $5 play is an MLB total, so that's what you'll have there. But let's not forget about the NBA playoffs either. We had a very, very profitable first round, going 11-4 our last 15 picks there. Number one in NBA win percentage over the last 11 months, 23-6 in the NBA playoffs going back to last year. And then there's soccer as well, where we're number one the last 2 years. So seeing it very well across the board. Hop on board, wt.buzz/BP.
Well, I'm just glad that over on the Morning Wager, our friend Mark Zeno finally lets you like talk soccer with not with a little bit more leg room, so to speak. Begrudgingly, he allows it. But I wanted to tell you, BP, that World Cup right around the corner. This is a safe place for you to come.
Thank you.
Let's break down some World Cup games together, Mike.
All right.
So,
that sounds good.
Brian Power, the best soccer handicapper at WagerTalk 2 years running, will be with us breaking down some World Cup games. So if Zeno doesn't let you do it at length, we got your back here, BP, in just a few weeks, my friend.
I just sneak it in, and people could check out today's edition of the Morning Wager. Ross, I'm rooting for certainly one of Ross's plays that he gave up in the first segment to come home, that being Cavs plus 3.5. Obviously, I'm rooting for an outright upset. No offense to the people who are paying us in the WagerTalk office, but that's just the way it is. I live in Cleveland. Zeno and I came up with an idea. If it does wind up being Cavs-Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and obviously that's a big if, even though the Knicks certainly took a big step. Dan, I know you don't want it to be Cavs-Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, okay. I forgot. You hate the Sixers.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, if it's Cavs-Knicks, Zeno and I might have stumbled upon a creative bet. And if you guys want to find out what that is, you guys can check out today's edition of the Morning Wager.
I love it. We got to get the T-shirts made. The Morning Wager, we sneak it in. I like that. Get the T-shirts made. Tune in the Morning Wager where we sneak it in. Bri, always a pleasure, man. We'll see you back here soon. And yeah, World Cup right around the corner. I was just talking with our guy, Jan, who you're going to be doing the golf show with here in just a few minutes here. And then we'll have posted for you this evening. Jan and I are going to be collabing on some World Cup plays for folks this coming June. So lot of excitement, man, as World Cup. This is the channel to tune into, folks. We got Pavlos Lagaretos, Carmine Bianco, Brian Power, Jan and I might cook something up. We got Bruce who's on board. So if you want World Cup coverage, folks, subscribe right here to WagerTalk TV. We are going to be wall to wall with it, folks.
Got a couple golf questions. Now you're talking my language. Let's talk real sport finally today.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Fleetwood, top 5 this weekend. I am out on Tommy Fleetwood. He's not very long off the tee. This is a long course. Almost 7,600 yards, and it's only a par 71. His finishes the last 3 tournaments have not been very good. He's been inconsistent, so I am not on Fleetwood. And Xander over Matthew Fitzpatrick, no opinion. These guys are pretty equal, and you're not. There's just 2 guys you're not betting against right now: Matthew Fitzpatrick and Cameron Young. You're just not betting against those guys right now. That is. I would say there are much, much better betting opportunities than those. So, but we'll be recording prop line. Jan and I will give you outright winners, DraftKings darlings, head-to-heads, top finishing positions. So, yeah, that's going to be. Ed, real quick, let's go over the weather again because it's just primed for overs in that game.
Yeah, so we're seeing constant wind going to be about like 17 miles per hour out to left, and we're seeing gusts even a little bit more than that. Humidity a little over 30%, so that's not as big of a factor. But that 83 degrees in South Philadelphia, man, I think the ball can fly. I know Sanchez is on the mound. I know Severino is decent, but both of these teams also have bullpens. So I wish we were getting 8.5. Full disclosure, I bet the Bryce Harper home run. I'm also going to be betting over 9. What I also might do is kind of wait for maybe the pitchers. If it does look like they're kind of cooking early, might swoop in once that 8.5 or 8 starts popping on a live line. But I like runs tonight in South Philadelphia. So we'll see.
All right. Let's go all around the world. Got a couple plays to look at. This would be an interesting correlation play with Brian's breakdown of the Rangers and the Yankees here. I kind of like Jacob deGrom under 6.5 strikeouts. He's really good, but he's gone under 3 out of 6 games this season. But he's pitched against this Yankees. I believe it was his last start and he only had 5. And this is a Yankees team. They do not strike out very much. Their last 3 games, they're averaging 5 strikeouts per game as a team. So you're getting a team that's just not chasing a lot of bad pitches. So I look at DeGrom under the 6.5 Ks. And then you guys have heard me talk about this play. Lou Dort is back in our lives, so we can take him over 1.5 made threes. He went over in 4 out of 5 games against Phoenix. I have no idea what was going on with him in the last game of the season. He took 2 shots. He missed both of them. He had basically no usage. He got in foul trouble. It was just one of those throw that game away. But here's the key to this one, Dan. This might have to be a client play. 10 straight games in a row against the Lakers, making 2 or more 3-pointers. Like, it's kind of hard to argue when you're putting up those kind of numbers against the same team. So Lou Dort over 1.5 made threes. And here's the other thing about Lou Dort. You will know if this play is alive or dead in the first couple minutes because they always run a set play for him early in the game. They get him a wide open 3. If he misses, it's like, oh God,
we might sweat. If he makes it, we just need one more.
They're running one more play for him within a couple of minutes. I have hit this play in the first 6 minutes of the game. I have lost it with him going over
with pain.
Yeah. You really could do that. So, all right, great show, guys. Again, please hit the like button. It really helps us out. Oh, I was going to bring up something to you, Dan. Do you know pretty much every single day when we have a full slate of Major League Baseball teams, at least one team gets to double digits on their team total?
Really?
I have looked this up. In the last week, only one day has there been a day of full baseball where at least one team did not get to double digits.
All right, so which team is it going to be tonight?
So which team gets, because it's not normally the one you would think. Like sometimes it's the Yankees, sometimes it's the Dodgers, but yeah, at least one team gets to double digits. So
I know the easy answer is the Dodgers, but let me go. One. I'm going with Cubs. I'm going with the Cubs, going against Abbott. Abbott, a lefty who has, over a 6.09 ERA. Again, in Chicago, looks like wind's blowing in that one. Even just Cincinnati in their last 10, they've been an over team simply because a lot of the runs that they're giving up. So that would be 8-2 to the over in their last 10, 7-3 to the over in the last 10 for the Cubbies. So let's get the Cubbies to get to double digits. That's my entry. Who are you thinking? St. Louis.
St. Louis isn't bad. Titans says Red
against
Sox.
Milwaukee.
But Titan brings up a Boston team no matter what the
true.
What the
that's a good point. That's a good point.
You're trying to
look at has a over 7 ERA for what it's worth.
I was just getting ready to say St. Louis possibly could get there. Obviously, the Dodgers are kind of a big one. Angels are not exactly putting out an all-star here. This guy's started one game, kind of got lit up and didn't pitch very much. So I'll go crazy and I'll say I'd say the Giants get to Bueller as just a random.
I like it.
Team that doesn't score a lot of runs, they get to Bueller, and there's your.
Also, the team that can't hit anything or water falling out of the boat. The Mets are in Colorado and they're going against Lorenzen. So if you really want to go off the reservation, take the Mets to use all of the runs that they didn't get for a month in one game. So comment below and let us know. Does anybody hit double digits? Which team is it? Andy and I gave you a few there. And also remind you on our dingers, I'm on Bryce Harper. Who are you taking to hit a dinger tonight?
Nick Kurtz, and the Rockies game just got postponed to May 7th.
Oh, so never mind.
Lorenzen loves like a breaking ball that doesn't break and comes in slow right over the plate. Like
so true.
He loves those. So, all right, guys, it's $5 Tuesday. NBA best bet is up. That big cricket play is up. That's when we definitely bet a little bit more than usual on that one. It goes off in a couple days. It's a little bit juicy. And we also have our MLB best bet that is up. So great night to profit and get some plays for $5. So like and subscribe. Actually, you know what? Tell me what team is going to score double digits tonight. If you get it right, we'll give away a 3-day pass. How's that?
Deal. I love
we
it.
should do
Comment
this.
below which team gets double digits. If you're correct, include your WagerTalk username and free 3-day flex pass. Boom. That's why it pays to watch to the end of the show, folks. Your chance to win a free
Absolutely.
3-day flex pass.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Good luck on all your bets. We'll see everyone tomorrow, same time, same place. Take care.